Hey guys, what's up? It's Samantha, and I am so excited because today we are going to be memory keeping the first week of January 2023, and I am just so excited to get back to it. This is obviously the week of New Year's, so I am very appropriately using the Happy New Year's kit by ScribblePrintsCo, pulling in some matte bronze foil from her, and then also using this Simply Gilded washi. It does have light gold foiling instead of like bronze or matte bronze, but it just works well with this kit, and the foils are close enough that I don't think it really matters, but I thought that kind of oatmeal light tan color just was so beautiful and matched this kit so perfectly. It has like a really dainty polka dot in the background, and you guys know that my favorite part of planning is pulling in Simply Gilded washi to match with it. I just really enjoy finding the perfect match. So of course I had to go with that washi. And I definitely struggled when I was putting down the foundation of this kit. I feel like I can't put a box down straight to save my life anymore. Like, thank you so much to Undo for saving my butt like 16 different times during this. And then also, I was trying to do like planner science in the back of my head to make sure I had the right number of headers left, just like 7 to go across the top for a functional spread in my functional coil planner. I do like to color block in there because I get the ombre heart checklists and the normal checklists. And then I also use the date covers because I pretty much never use the date covers in my decorative planning. So I kind of get to use all of the bits of the kit that I don't normally use. There's always an extra full box or two left over, and then I get to kind of use some of those bits and pieces to make my to-do lists and like mind dump planner just a little bit prettier. I get to appreciate the art in two different places. And I also realized when I was putting down like the scene box, I think this kit had like 3 different scene boxes. And I like sets of scene boxes, and I wanted to do the one with like the couple and the socks up on the ottoman because that's basically how we spent our New Year's. And then I put down the wrong one, and then I looked at the sticker sheet and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I even planned this out ahead of time and I still put the wrong stickers down. But it all turned out and it's so pretty. And when you see me here, like in a second, kind of deliberating and tapping my fingers, that was me realizing I didn't know what I was going to do with the headers, and I needed to like figure out a way to make it work, and I did. I ended up just putting down the foil overlays instead of the headers on the weekend, and it doesn't really matter. I just made it like one giant column. I like realized that the math didn't add up there, so I took those off and then used them in my functional planner. So yeah, just doing the header overlays like that, it worked out just fine. They like end up getting covered, and I can just treat it as like a whole column on that day. So that is kind of like what I've been doing if I want to color block on both the like functional planner and then also in like a memory keeping. I kind of have to do that just because there's only 7 of each of the headers in ScribblePrintsCo kits. So there's like no extras, if that makes any sense. So like if you color block like I did here, then you use, like if I use those other 2, you use 6 of 3 of the colors and then only 3 of one. So then you have like 1 of 3 colors and 4 of the last color. This is like the dumbest thing. I put a lot of thought into like trying to figure this out. But yeah, it felt so weird to like be putting down overlays because I don't really use overlays like in my functional planner, which is the only planning I've been using. I goofed up putting this down. I like did this wrong. I like put the top and the bottom down at the same time, which I can't believe I did that. Like I know better. I've been doing this for so many years. So thank goodness to Undo. I had to kind of like take this off camera to blow on it to get it to dry and like get everything all smoothed out. But you can't even tell now because Undo is completely just like the most magical substance known to mankind, and it saved my butt yet again. But yeah, so this week was like a little bit of everything. Like there's some stress, there's some relaxing, there's some like, you know, making good choices and taking care of myself and like setting myself up for success in the new year. There's also some like eating a lot of junk food and then feeling gross from eating a lot of junk food, you know, a little bit of everything just to keep it like zesty, you know, like a little interesting. This is actually like the 4th time I'm recording this voiceover. I was having microphone issues and I think I figured out the setting that was wrong, but I like fully recorded this hours ago and then went to go play it back before I uploaded it and realized the audio was like super tinny and echoey. Hopefully this is okay, because I genuinely don't know if I have it in me to record this like a fifth time. I have been like saying the same things over and over and over again, and I'm starting to feel like I'm going a little crazy. I definitely like need to figure out a way to soundproof this room, like maybe get curtains so I can like close, like put fabric over the window when I'm doing like voice recording so it doesn't echo so much. I have like nothing hanging on my walls. My whole house is echoey just because I don't have enough furniture anywhere. And I'm doing laundry, so I like closed the door, and I think that's also adding to the echo factor. So yeah, I'm still trying to figure out like the lighting and the sound and all of that kind of stuff in this space. I was very blessed in my old house. Like I figured out all of my settings very, very quickly, and I had a weird shaped roof in like the room that I used for my planning space. In our old house, it was like a gabled, I don't know, like if you've ever been on the second floor in like a Cape Cod with dormers where like the sides of the ceiling like angle down, it was like that. And it made it really easy to like get light to bounce off correctly. I don't know. This room has not been working with me, so I still have some movie magic I need to figure out. So getting into the day by day, on Monday, I was just really stressed out and really burnt out. We had a lot of social gatherings going on for Christmas, and over the last 8 years, Joe and I have been married. We've sort of always picked one family to celebrate holidays with because our families haven't lived in the same city, and we didn't live in the same city as either of our families. So we were like used to like picking one family and doing like each holiday with one family. But now we're all of us are in the same city. So we had so many different family events, and I was cooking and preparing food and like wrapping gifts for all these different events. And I was just like really burnt out and tired by the time Monday rolled around, because we still had another family Christmas event to go to the next day. So I was just like stressed and in my feelings. And of course, because of that, if you watch my last Plan With Me, I talked about this there. I was like having stomach problems just from anxiety and stress. I did some laundry. I called my grandma because I like wasn't able to call her on Christmas. We were at my in-laws' house like the whole day, and I didn't really have time or space to like go and talk to them for a significant period of time. So I talked to my grandma on Monday. And then I was just feeling like really down and icky. So I made some tea and read that night and went to bed really early, which was exactly what I needed. And then on Tuesday, Joe and I both woke up pretty early because we went to bed so early. And so we just like played balloons. We hung out, and like just the two of us, which we hadn't done in like so long. So we've been running all over the place, and we just chilled, played balloons. And then I ordered some new Christmas ornaments. I hadn't bought any new Christmas ornaments in years, and the tree that we have now in this house is way bigger than the tree we had in our old house, and I definitely wanted to get a few more ornaments to add to the mix. I kind of like to buy a few every year, but we haven't done a tree in a couple of years, so it was nice to like get to pick out a few special ornaments that were on sale. And then I prepped like a cheese board for my parents, like my families, like all of us getting together, because we were there for Christmas Eve, but my one brother and his wife and my nephew were not there because they were with her family. So this was everyone getting together to give gifts and all of that. My mom actually, we made the executive decision, instead of cooking like all brand new food from scratch, all of us had hosted or gone to so many different Christmas parties and had like leftover stuff from like dishes we had brought to those parties. My mom was like, everyone just bring like your leftover like cheese plate and dips and like charcuterie and all different kinds of stuff, and just bring it all, and like we'll put it out, and like we'll clean out everyone's like fridges and pantries and stuff. So that actually worked out really nicely. Got to see my family. We opened gifts, like did our family gift exchange, and then I came home and I just like hung out and watched YouTube and chilled. And then on Wednesday, I put the wrong color down. I grabbed the wrong color, and I'm like, that is not the color of Wednesday. But on Wednesday, I slept in because I was just absolutely knackered. I was so tired. I just have a really small social battery, and like even with family and stuff, just seeing people for extended periods of time every single day for like multiple days in a row. I was just so physically exhausted, mentally exhausted, emotionally exhausted. So I made my coffee and like went into my library. I was listening to an audiobook, playing games on my iPad, and then the pest control people knocked on the door. I didn't even know I had an appointment on Wednesday, and I was like in my PJs, and I like answered the door. I was like really embarrassed. The guy was like fine with it. And he was like in and out in 5 minutes, but I was like, I didn't know you guys were coming today. Like, I am so sorry. Like, I didn't make the appointment. They like automatically scheduled it a week out from like my first treatment for the mice. And if you didn't watch my previous video, we like have mice in the crawl space. Like, they're not in our living space, but they're in the crawl space over our second floor, and we are trying to get that taken care of. I haven't heard them in a while, so I think whatever was up there is gone at this point. And then Joe and I played a bunch of balloons together, and then we went to IKEA to go pick up the rest of the bookshelves I needed to complete the second wall in my library so I can have bookshelves behind my chair in my library. And it's really hard. Like, if there's still so many supply chain issues with furniture, and IKEA is definitely included in that. So I had an email notification for when those shelves came into stock, and the second they were there, snagged them. So those are all sitting on the floor in my like foyer right now, but I'll build them in the next couple weeks. So I have them, and that's the important part. Then I basically spent the rest of the afternoon researching and buying furniture and like ordering fabric swatches for furniture. We have so much furniture we still need to buy like for our living room, and we need to replace the furniture like in our game room, and like, which is where we've been hanging out. My sofa is literally falling apart. It's a decade old, and it was the cheapest sofa at like Front Room Furnishings when I bought it a decade ago. So it's definitely time for that to go. And I've been buying things like here and there, but I really need to just like sit down, and I get like so anxious about buying furniture because I'm like, what if I make a mistake? And so I just don't buy it. I mean, I have bought like a lot of furniture, but there's a lot more left to buy. We got rid of almost all of our furniture when we moved, because a lot of it was really cheap old IKEA stuff that was falling apart and could not have handled another move. So now it's time to buy like real adult furniture and I get overwhelmed. But on Thursday, I guess like on Wednesday, after all of that furniture thing, I called my mom, and then Joe and I built Legos together because we both got Lego sets for Christmas. And then Thursday I read, and then I decided to re-sign up for HelloFresh. I used to do HelloFresh when I was working full-time, and I found it really helpful to kind of like take the stress of meal planning off my shoulders. And for the last like year and a half, I basically have not cooked like at all, or cooked very sporadically, just with all of like the stress. I got out of all of my habits and routines with both moves. But especially this last one has been really, really bad. Like the last 6 months have been so sad. Like I have not cooked. So I decided to re-sign up to kind of give myself training wheels to get back on the cooking dinner most nights a week wagon. And then I basically just like folded a ton of laundry. I think we had like 30 or 40 minutes worth of laundry to fold. Joe helped me. It was bad. I'm like I don't have issues like starting laundry, but I definitely have issues folding laundry. I just hate folding laundry so much. And then Joe and I kind of did like a date night on Thursday, and we ordered Mexican takeout from like one of those like local like Mexican strip mall kind of places. And I haven't eaten at one of those kind of restaurants in like a year and a half, because every time I eat at one of those restaurants, it makes me feel sick the next day. And lo and behold, it made me feel sick the next day. And I'm like, Joe, this is why I've been saying no to eating at like this kind of food for the last year and a half. Like real Mexican food, great. That like kind of like fake Mexican food does not sit well with me. And like the fake margaritas and all of that, I just can't do it anymore apparently. But we did like watch like a movie together, and then we started watching Dash and Lily on Netflix, which I actually really liked. We watched it like a bunch of nights this week, and it was really cute. And then Friday was my mom's birthday. I basically just felt gross the entire day from like the food I'd eaten the night before. I made my coffee. I slept in really late, then made coffee and like watched YouTube basically all afternoon. And then I did a little bit of planning And because I'm stupid, we like got pizza on Friday night too. Like exactly what I needed was more greasy, salty food. And then I made tea and just read. Because I certainly was not going to have wine after like feeling so gross from like the frozen neon green margaritas the night before. Ugh, just like even like thinking about it now, I'm just like, ugh, why did I do that? Like I'm too old for this. So then Saturday was New Year's Eve, and I basically read all day so that I could hit my Goodreads challenge. I needed 5 more books, and I did successfully read 5 books on Saturday. I read all day. I got in the bath. I read in the bath. Got out of the bath, did more reading, and then I hit my challenge around like 9:30. I watched a little bit of YouTube, and then Joe came up and we just like hung out. We watched, like finished out Dash and Lily, and then it was midnight, and then Joe and I just like put on lo-fi on the TV and like had a couple drinks and just talked, and it was really, really nice to just sort of like talk about like our New Year's goals and resolutions and all of that. We like hadn't really talked about like what we wanted to do differently in the new year, like what our kind of like goals and plans were. So it was nice just have like kind of that like quiet moment, even though Joe was on vacation this whole week. He took the week off between Christmas and New Year's. He like had a lot of things that he had planned to do that week, like different errands and like social things and video game stuff. And so he like really hadn't, like other than the date night, that one night, like we hadn't really spent a whole lot of time together. So it was just really nice to like sit and ring in the new year, like talking about our goals and our hopes and dreams and whatever. That sounds like really cheesy. So then on New Year's Day, I woke up and basically spent the whole day working on graphics for Instagram to do some like different book posts, like my favorite books of the year, and then my like every book I read in the year. I always wait until January 1st to do all of my lists because I am not like one of those people that doesn't read like the last week or two of the year. And a couple of my like favorite books of the year I actually read on the 31st. Like one I finished, and one was a graphic novel that I picked up that had been on my TBR, and like I would have had to leave those off the list if I had made that earlier. So all my stuff I do in January. And then I had like a video hangout session with my friend Sylvia. We had some wine and just chatted. She's like one of my librarian friends from Akron, and we hadn't talked in a couple months, so it was really nice to get caught up. And then Joe went and got McDonald's because, like, again, exactly what I needed was more greasy food. And then we finished Dash and Lily on Sunday, not on Saturday. And then I had like really bad reflux from eating too much McDonald's because I am dumb and I do this to myself. So this is the finished spread, and I am just absolutely obsessed with how this came out. I'm definitely looking forward to like getting back in the swing of things and like getting my handwriting back. I feel like my handwriting's gotten a little messy because I've like lost my muscle memory for how I write certain words all the time, but I love the shine. I love how fabulous this turned out. I really missed like beautiful decorative planning like this. So it's making my heart a little happy. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you in my next one. Bye, guys.